Right, okay. Thanks, Peter. Should be to the line. Simon Wigg, Andy Kelvin, Paul Thorpe, Sean Wilson, Tony Primer, Todd Wiltshire in the starter's hands. Off and racing, and Wigg gets a great start and gets out nicely. Todd Wiltshire around the outside, and the Newcastle Rocket has gone to the lead against the world champion. Down the back part of the straightaway in turns 1 and 2. And it's Todd Wiltshire from Simon Wigg heading down into the pit stern, and Wigg starts to pull the big engine out. Starts to lift the leg up and go for it, but it's Todd Wiltshire all the way down the main straightaway. One lap of the journey has been completed as Wigg tries to bank up the outside ground, the number 4 machine. Here's Primer. Down the back straight, and still Todd Wiltshire holding out the world champ. Round the outside, here comes Simon Wigg one more time with the yellow flag out, 1 to go. Todd Wiltshire holding out Wigg. Wigg down the main straight away. Red and white rider Primer sitting back in 4th position. But it's Wiltshire all the way down the back straight away. Coming into the main straight as a checkered flag about to be raised for the first blood of the Broadmeadows Circuit. Put your hands together on Newcastle's Todd Wiltshire, Simon Wigg. And 3rd placing going through to Sean Wilson. And a time on that one, 64.59 seconds. 64.59
today. If you follow the Speedway overseas and have ever seen photos of Kelly Moran, you've seen him at some of the most unbelievable angles on a Speedway bike imaginable. Kelly Moran there on the outside of the track. It's a black helmet colour. And moving down inside him, Kelly Moran from the outside. Next to him is Jimmy Nilsson. Glenn Doyle, the dual Australian champion, coming in. Glenn's complaining he hasn't got enough room to get in there between Nilsson and Kelvin Tatum from 3. Stephen Davies on 2. Troy Butler from 1. All the riders waving to Dave Mills at the moment. Dave's just telling them where the light is, which indicates the start is imminent. They're at the tapes for the second heat of the Track Masters. They're up. Stephen Davies from 2. Glenn Doyle from 4 together around turn 1, and it's Davies trying to catch up to Doyle as Butler goes through on the inside to take second. The 3 Aussies are out in front, and the 3 overseas guys are at the back. That's good stuff. Glenn Doyle, the race leader at the end of 1 racing lap. Troy Butler is 2nd. Stephen Davies was 3rd. He's just been passed there by Kelly Moran, who's lost his helmet colour going down the straight the first time. Davies back to 4th. He's ahead of Kelvin Tatum and Jimmy Nilsson, the Swede, out the back. Tatum makes a big move through into 4th spot, takes Stephen Davies up very high, but out front it's still Glenn Doyle. Glenn Doyle should be quite at home on this track. He comes from Claremont, which is the biggest racing speedway track in Australia. It's over 600 metres, and Glenn Doyle brought that form with him tonight. Off turn number 4, up to take the checkered flag. Another win for an Australian, Glenn Doyle. 2nd place to Troy Butler. Kelly Moran was 3rd. In 4th place there is Kelvin Tatum. Stephen Davies 5th, and Jimmy Nilsson at the back of the field. Down to you, Bob, and you can give the time when it comes through.
The red helmet colour, Stephen Schofield. Blue helmet colour, Mick Poole. The yellow, white helmet colour, Sean Wilmot. The white helmet colour, Sean Wilmot. Yellow helmet colour, Craig Boyce. Red and white was to be Phil Crump. And black and white, Ray Morton. They'll be the people that'll front up. And don't forget, as we said before, Norm Fraser Motorcycles, the people that have looked so very much after us, have undyingly got involved, and they're proud to be sponsors of the International Newcastle Track Masters. And he says good luck to all competitors. As riders up onto the grid for event number 3. Stephen Schofield coming up, off position 1.
Quickly, Bob, there is a replacement for Phil Crump there. It's Rodney Colquhoun. Rodney Colquhoun in the red and white helmet colour. Rodney Colquhoun.
Right, Rodney Colquhoun, the man that stands. Rodney Colquhoun, the man that is standing in for Phil Crump. As the last rider moving up. Sean Wilmot comes up on the line. Bring them up on the line on the outside. Ray Morton, Stephen Schofield, position 1. Mick Poole, position 2. Sean Wilmot position 3, racing at a great start, getting off nicely. Coming out of Stephen Scoey, it's Scoey that's made the jump first off, got a bit of a lock-up with Mick Poole. Out into turn 1 and 2, down the back straight away, and Steve Schofield, the diminutive little rider, is starting to put some big legs in. Mick Poole in behind him, then followed by Sean Wilson. Back in behind him in the yellow helmet colour is Craig Boyce. Boyce trying to find a way through, then followed by the next one to go through. Ray Morton, back to your race leader again, and still the little fella himself, still hasn't used the tear off as yet. Yellow and black coming out, 1 lap of the journey to travel as Stephen Schofield locks it up through turns 3 and 4. Down the main straight away, Mick Poole still trying to stay with him, then followed by Sean Wilson, back in behind him, in the yellow helmet colour. Here's Craig Boyce, down the back straight away for the last time, and the little bloke has a look over his shoulder. Leg comes up, a little bit of less wind drag. Into turns 3 and 4 through the pit stern, and it's going to take the checkered flag. The little Englishman, put your hands together for him. There's Stephen Schofield takes the win. Steve Schofield for the win, second place going through. Mick Poole, third place going through behind him, Sean Wilmot. Then followed by Craig Boyce, Ray Morton the next one to go through. And then in behind him, Colhoun. And the time of that one, Peter, was 64.56. I tell you what's so close. Glenn Doyle coming out, the familiar yellow leathers, wearing the yellow helmet colour. Off position 4. Stephen Davies in 6. Craig Boyce in 5. Glenn Doyle in 4. Troy Butler in 3. Andy Galvin in 2. And Rodney Colhoun in 1. Okay, we just had a message that George Watson is okay. They've taken it away for observation, but he is okay. Right, Glenn Doyle checking the fuel, moving up on a line. Off and running, it has even started at the corner. Troy Butler's the man that got the run, but have a look at Doyle around the outside. Doyle makes a run to the national champion, starts to show them a clean pair of heels. Somebody getting out wide on the track on the far side. The black and white Stephen Davies. Davies coming around, trying to find his way through, finding the going very, very tough. But it's Glenn Doyle in the lead. Back behind him, Troy Butler. Then followed by the next one in the red and white helmet colour was Craig Boyce. Back behind him, Stephen Davies. Then followed by the red helmet colour of Rodney Colhoun. Down the blue helmet colour of Andy Galvin, having a shocking runners into the bay straight away. Race leader comes. 1 lap out, ready to go. The yellow and black helmet, yellow helmet colour. Glenn Doyle. Back behind him, Troy Butler. Then followed by the next one to go through, Craig Boyce, Stephen Davies. Then followed by Rodney Colhoun, Andy Galvin bringing up rear of the field, and round the outside he's coming, making a diverting. Butler trying to find his way through, but it's a national champion who just gets there. The national champion just got there. I'll wait for official confirmation on that, but that would have to been by the slimmest of margins. What about it one more time for him, folks? What a top finish. Troy Butler and Glenn Doyle, the national champion.
Simon Wigg, white helmet colour there, predominantly green leathers, the first one to move right up to the tapes. Tony Primer on the inside, Stephen Schofield's in the blue. Mick Poole's position 4, outside him is Jimmy Nelson and Ray Morton on the outside of the field. This is event number 10, round 2, heat 2 of the Newcastle International Track Masters. Lights on, tapes up, and from the outside, the sweet Jimmy Nelson and Mick Poole, the best of it again. Poole leading on the turn, forces Nelson wide, makes a big gap, and Simon Wigg goes through into second spot. Bit of trouble up the back there with Jimmy Nelson and Ray Morton tangling, and by the time they disengage themselves, the front 3 are long gone. It's Mick Poole in front. Poole loves the big tracks. About 20 metres ahead of the world long track champion Simon Wigg. Tony Primer is third, well back to Steve Schofield in fourth. Probably the best meeting Mick Poole's done this season was down at Parramatta in Sydney a few weeks ago. That's just about the biggest track outside of Perth, and Mick in fine form that night. Tony Primer's just coughed the bike there going into turn 1. Slows down, but he's got a big gap on the other 3, so he may even be hanging on to third spot. but no denying the lead has been held all the way by the race winner, Mick Poole. Second place to the reigning long track champion, Simon Wigg, and Tony Primer did hang on for third, ahead of Englishman Steve Schofield. That's Jimmy Nielsen in fifth place, and at the tail of the field, Ray Morton. Another good win there to an Australian, with Mick Poole taking the checkered flag in heat 2, round 2.
No matter what. Okay, next one we come out the International Track Masters, round 2, heat 3. Sean Wilson in the red helmet colour. On the far side, Kelvin Tatum. Todd Wiltshire will be in the red and white helmet colours from position 5. Position 4, Sean Wilmot. Position 3, Kelly Moran from the United States of America. In the blue helmet colour, Paul Thorpe from position 2, and from position 1, Sean the Prawn Wilson. A little bloke. And the young American rider, believe me, you wait till you see Kelly Moran start to get going in the white helmet colour. But Mick Poole's incredible 53.85 seconds, a very, very fast time in the conditions. All right, moving up on the line of the blue helmet colour, Paul Thorpe, then sporting Old Glory himself, Kelly Moran. One half of the Sean and Kelly team. Paul Thorpe moving up, Kelly Moran moving up on the line. Sean Wilmot moves up. Todd Wiltshire, the last one to move up on the line. He's on the line, ready for a start. Light flashing, racing at a good start, getting off the line well. Goes Todd Wiltshire, has got a runner, started to go with Kelvin Tatum round the outside, but it's Todd Wiltshire. Wiltshire makes a run, and here comes the diminutive American, Kelly Moran. Moran making a run through its early days and settling down as Kelvin Tatum beaten to the punch quite nicely. Round the outside comes Sean Wilson. Todd Wiltshire. Back behind him, Kelly Moran. Then followed by the next one to go through, Kelvin Tatum. In the red helmet colour, Sean Wilson trying to find his way through. Can't find it, and he had to drop off the pace very quickly. Race leader coming around, Todd Wiltshire. Newcastle's Todd Wiltshire up on the back wheel. Back behind him, Kelly Moran, the American. Then the black and white helmet colour, the next one to go through behind him was Kelvin Tatum, then followed by Sean Wilmot. Sean Wilson had to drop well and truly off the pace. Paul Thorpe in the blue helmet colour has dropped back to 5th placing. But he's coming around, and how about putting your hands together? He's beaten the best. Newcastle's own Todd Wiltshire takes the win, and beautifully done from the American Kelly Moran. Then Kelvin Tatum.
Trying to get a little bit closer to the inside line. He's actually in 5. Wilmot's on the outside in 6. Doyle is in 5. Schofield is in 4. Wiltshire is in 3. Thorpe is in position 2. And the rider down on the inside there in the yellow and black helmet colour, I'll just check for you. It may even be Kelvin Tatum has come out. Anyway, the tapes are set. Green light is on. Away they go in the first semi-final. A good start from the two Aussies, Doyle and Wiltshire. That's Glenn Doyle in front on the first corner. Wiltshire second. Schofield bouncing up and down there and goes back to 4th spot as Wilmot goes past him to 3rd. Race leader, the Australian champion. It's Glenn Doyle, the New South Wales champion, throwing out the challengers. Todd Wiltshire at the end of a lap. Wiltshire coming up on the inside of Doyle. Doyle mid-track. Wiltshire down low. Wiltshire gets through to the lead. Doyle's in second. A big move there by the hometown boy as Wiltshire goes through to take the lead. Wiltshire's pulled away. He's about 20 to 30 metres clear with the 1 lap to go flag. Doyle is second. That's Wilmot in 3rd place. Schofield makes a big run around the outside. Right out wide. He goes round Wilmot. He cuts down underneath Doyle. What a ride from the little pommy. Schofield up to 2nd. Wiltshire's still leading. Give him a clap, but put your hands together for Steve Schofield. What a ride to get 2nd. Doyle is 3rd. Wilmot is 4th. That was Tatum in 5th place. And out the back of the field, one out there. We've got Butler in 1. Boyce in 2. Wigg's come into 3. Colhoun shouldn't be there. The rider in the blue helmet colour, Kelly Moran, he'll come up into position 4. Mick Poole will come into 5, and Tony Primer into 6. Second semi-final legs are
racing at a great one.
Takes her up and away they go.
There you go. There goes Simon Wigg, has dropped himself right out of contention. I know what happened there. He came off the line well. So did Troy Butler, but he's dropped well and truly out of contention. Race leader down the back is Mick Poole, and he's doing it beautifully as he comes down through the pit stern. Mick Poole up the main straight away, and you can put the glasses away for this boy. Mick Poole in the lead. Back behind, Boyce is involved in it. Simon Wigg has got problems. Simon Wigg has a lot of problems. A machine bucking and weaving and jumping up and down. Wigg, the world champion, has got himself a whole heap of problems with Mick Poole coming around to the wing of the prayer. Mick Poole through turns 3 and 4 up the main straight away. Back behind him. Poole down the back, and still Wigg has got problems. Troy Butler has got also a great heap of problems as well. But your race leader, Mick Poole. Poole coming around, checkered flag coming out, and put your hands together for him as he comes round Newcastle. A great ride. Mick Poole going rocketing through. Mick Poole back in behind him, Craig Boyce. Pick up the third place man in just a short time. Kelly Moran in third place. And Troy Butler goes in at a time of 64.23. 64.23. Okay, he's bringing up on the line. This is the Norm Fraser Motorcycles NBN Track Masters Final, the International Track Masters Final. The diminutive American out to do battle over the 4-lap journey. Right up on the line. Steve Schofield moves up. Mick Poole desperately wants to get a win out of this one. Todd Wiltshire in the red helmet colour. 4 of them on the line. Another 2 to come. Next one to come up in the black and white helmet colour. Kelly Moran, the American. Coming round. Craig Boyce. Mick Poole. The yellow helmet colour, the blue helmet colour now moving up on the line. Glenn Doyle, the national champion. Okay, all the field is set. A little bit of farming going on the far side over there by Kelly Moran, the American. Making sure that everything's right. All right, gets back onto the bike. Now about to be called up on the line. Pits gate are closed. This is the final event of the night. The Newcastle International Track Masters. Norm Fraser Motorcycles. On the line. Now being called up. Referee Mills says bring them on the line. All right. Glenn Doyle now checking the fuel. Up. In starter's hands, Wiltshire on the line. Way they go at a great start. Who gets that? Well, Scully got tangled up at Glenn Doyle. And Doyle's out of it. But have a look at Mick Poole down the outside, and Mickey Poole is flying. Mick Poole down the back straight away. Where's Todd Wiltshire? Wiltshire nowhere to be seen. He's got himself a little bit of out of sorts down the red helmet colour. Got himself a little bit of a short shaft. Glenn Doyle out of it. Mick Poole. Then followed by the next one, Craig Boyce in behind him, Todd Wiltshire. Then followed by the next one to go round, Kelly Moran. And then followed by the diminutive figure of Steve Schofield down the back straight away. As Todd Wiltshire gets himself a short shift, well and truly picked up a lot of drive. Over the 4-lap journey down the main straight away. Mick Poole can't believe he's lucky. He's got it well and truly sewn up. Mick Poole down the main straight away. Back behind him, Craig Boyce. Then followed by the next one, Todd Wiltshire. Then back behind Todd Wiltshire, the next one to go through is Kelly Moran. Then followed by Stephen Schofield as they come down to collect the yellow and black. 1 lap of the journey left to travel. And Mick Poole it is getting the yellow and black. Mickey's got 1 more lap to do. Back behind him, Craig Boyce. Then followed by Todd Wiltshire. Then in behind him, Kelly Moran. And still, Stephen Schofield trying to bring them up. As he comes down, come on, Newcastle, get behind him. Because here he comes, Mickey Poole with a brilliant ride. Mick Poole round through the turns 3 and 4. Down the main straight away. Put your hands together for him. He's won it, and won it in fine style. Mick Poole takes the win. Second place going through, Craig Boyce. Third place was Todd Wiltshire. Then back in behind him, Kelly Moran. And the fifth, but by no means least, last place goes through to Stephen Schofield to bring it into tonight's event. And the time on that one, Peter, was 1 minute 24.47. 1 minute 24.47.
What a great result, Bob, eh? The
It
three
certainly
Australians
was.
coming home 1, 2, 3 in that, and the American and the Englishman out the back. A great win to Mick Poole, and some very good performances right throughout the night from the place getters there in Craig Boyce and Todd Wiltshire.
Right, and we still have the trophy presentations, folks, so if you'd like to hang around as they come down, come on, Newcastle, put your hands together for him, Mick Poole. The little fella, get a couple of quick words from him. I guess he's an extremely tired man after that hectic ride. Todd Wiltshire, the first one to stick his hand out. Wait for Mick to get the helmet off. Mick, congratulations, a top ride. And how does it feel to be the winner of the very first time in 38 years of an international event here at Broadmeadows?
Oh yeah, Bob, it feels really good. I haven't won a meet like this in a long time, so it feels a lot better than what I've been doing. I haven't had a really good season on and off all the time, but you know, this just proves that a lot of the Aussie boys are coming up and beating the big blokes. So there's a long way for Australian Speedway to come yet.
Well, there's certainly a long way for Glenn Poole to come, for Mick Poole to come along too, mate. Now we've got the trophy presentation. If people like to hang around while we do that one, congratulations, mate. A top ride, Todd.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as the three place getters take off on their victory lap there.
Well, Keith, I don't know what to say apart from thank you very much, Newcastle, for having me down here. It's been a wonderful experience.